change. My love for you will forever stay the same. Nikiwa kando yako, I'm miles away. We'll be okay, and I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. We'll break down, 'cause it'll be some time before tushikane mikono. And I won't see you often, na siyo kupenda kwangu, ni mipango ya Mungu. But I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. If it's your love, I'm prepared to wait. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Na sitachoka. Sitachoka mama, mama. Sitachoka. Nitakungoja wewe. Oh, sitachoka. Sitachoka mama, yeah, yeah. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Na sitachoka.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are warm. Muthoni Gitau here, and this is She Talks on Power Radio. It's Wednesday, midweek vibes coming your way. If you can't tell, we have already started. Our first song this morning was Nyumbani by Colossal Music and Amara Tari. And after that, we were listening to Kinoti with Nitangoja. Sending you all the warmth you need. If I had uji, ningekuwa nafanya na venye Oprah alikuwa anapeanga wasei, you get a mug and you get a mug. And that's what I would have done this morning. But mimi mwenyewe sina uji. I am failing in that department. We have an amazing show ahead of us today. We are just vibing out the week. Tujue penye tuko, sending out love and help and support and all the good wishes to the people who've been affected by the floods. We'll be talking about that in a bit. Yeah, remember that we are on social media at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. That's on Instagram, on Twitter. If you want to tweet us. You can also use the hashtag SheTalks on Power Radio. Yeah, let's get into today's show and see kunendaje. For now, let's listen to Sage and Octo.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I dream of a sky where the lights never die down. I'm awake in my sleep and I'm falling to the ground. I want the answers to the questions of the reactions, whether it makes sense or the path is fatal attraction. Is it the whiteness of the cloud or the steam in my mirror? Is it the broken of a glass? Could it be more clearer? 'Cause I feel so alive. No one can stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong. Through the rain and the hail and the fire, through whatever they bring, till I get my desire. Is it the whisper of an angel or the pounding of my heartbeat? Is it the playing of a record where the drumming in the bass meet? 'Cause I feel so alive.
dharau, lakini usikise mtu wangu kuna venye nimekafunga Ramadhan weze ni sahau. Junikingia kwa booth mule boy ukikizwa masnia design ya Chucky Chan sota mnikate mguu, amwezi ni defeat, finya backspace kwa comp wezi ni delete, kuja na pinya still amwezi kuni beat, na hizo wealth zote mkonazo amwezi kuni rich. Wanadai mimi ni mskini, I need to gain some weight. Mimi maskini my pocket needs to gain weight, cause raha wanabonda, after raha wanahara wanakonda kangonda. Mini hustling daily, kukula smart make sure nimenona kuliko anaconda. Sikizo wakiniona ni sura wanakwaga wamebonda, hizo mipaka tunazivuka bila bada.
No one can stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong. No one can stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong.
Don't let discouragement get in life. Wala wanakuambiaga uwezi toboa, wala kuchekelea. That time that we proved them wrong, size kwambia otherwise. The future's here with the best leader. I see ego to him. If you're still hating on us, your heart goes believe that. It's not banana, baby.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
That was my baby girl, Chemutai Sage, together with Octopizzo. On Sunday, I went for a show that Sage was performing at. If you don't know, Sage is like a really, really dope Kenyan musician. Like her voice is just, hey, a babe can sing, okay? For days. And the show that I went for was called Diverse. It was a poetry showcase by Ngatia. If you don't know Ngatia was half of the brains behind Too Early for Birds. If you've heard about Too Early for Birds, Too Early for Birds was like a showcasing where they would use storytelling and they would retell history in its correct form, not the watered down version that made certain people look good and other people, whatever. They were telling like the true actual stories, and it had been a while since they'd put something together. I think like 2 years ago they had a show, but now I think the last 2 for Birds was either a year ago or 2 years ago, one of the two. But Ngatia was back on stage for the first time as Ngatia in almost 10 years, and the show he put together was immaculate. Like every piece was amazing. Every person he had on that stage with him was amazing. It was just like all kinds of vibes. And I was just like, if you are going to introduce someone to the world of poetry in Kenya or Kenyan poetry and Kenyan storytelling, Ngatia is definitely the way to go. And we had such an amazing time on Sunday. So shout out to Sage as she kicks off her acting career. Now I was telling people, hey, now you guys need to call her for acting gigs because my babe was pulling no stops. She was doing all the things, all the things, even smoking imaginary cigarettes on stage. And I believed her. I believed it was not imaginary. But yeah, that was Sage together with Octo, and the song is Alive. That was, I think, her first single that's the song that put her on the map. Everyone was like, who is this babe? Who is she? And we're like, well, girl, we see you. Let's get into the threads. Because actually, the last week, it has been madness on the roads. Kenya, I don't know about the rest. Actually, I think it's as a country. Kenya is flooding. Like there's flash floods. There's rain that's like just raining continuously. And then at the end of it, it's like water everywhere. Trees are falling, like trees that are like some of the oldest trees in like Nairobi have fallen down, and roads are turning into rivers. Other spots on roads are literally becoming dams where there's a lot of stagnant water. Houses are flooding. It's been insane. And I remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago when the Met Department they put out a notice, and we spoke about it. They put out a notice where they said, for the next 7 days, expect heavy rain. And I think one of the most disappointing things about what's happening right now is that from late last year, the government was well aware that we might get, like, maybe not the flooding, but there was a talk about El Nino, which again, people came and claimed that they prayed, and that's why it didn't happen. But the thing is, they had set aside money, lots and lots of money. I decided to find out how much this morning. And when I tell you, my heart stopped for a little bit. 10 billion Kenya shillings. 10, not million, B, with a B, like B for Baba, like B for ball, like B for the thing that Kenyans love over the weekends. You know the B. B for billion. 10 billion shillings set aside for El Nino, which didn't happen. So what I'm thinking is that money is seated somewhere waiting for when it might be needed. And I think right now that money is very much needed. I saw a tweet this morning by the Nairobi senator saying that the government is overwhelmed because it's like people are literally sleeping on their roofs. Their houses have flooded. The places where their homes are built are flooded to the point that your entire house is submerged in water. And the only thing that's not in water is your roof. And the saddest part about that, and there's even someone who shared, I think, a photo on Twitter. The saddest part is, as I was sleeping last night, I think it rained the whole night. So I'm thinking these people were sleeping on the roof to run away from the water, the stagnant water below them, but they were getting rained on the entire night. I'm like, that's just insane. There's places where people are being evacuated, but I'm like, I'm also curious, where are people being taken? What is the procedure? Because I think there's some places in Street Kilimani or something where people are being evacuated. I'm like, are you doing that on your own dime, or is the government involved? I have so many questions because people are just being told, if you can leave, just leave. I'm going, where am I going? If I'm leaving, where am I going? Because I'm just curious to know, So I feel like this is a major test. This is going to be a major test, not only for, say, the county government of Nairobi, but for the national government of Kenya in general. Because there's the places where we know, yes, these particular spaces are prone to floods. It happens. And even that, they never do anything to prep for that. And now when it's just all of a sudden out of nowhere to the point where roads are impassable, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just sending vibes. Honest, sina kitu ingine yenye naweza sema. We're going to read a couple of reactions and also just see if there's any way in which we can be of help, as opposed to just, being over here and being like, where? Ni kubaya. Before that, let's listen to Bridget Blue.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Jack on the beat.
They say on drugs, I say on me. They say it's sad, I say it's funny. You with some crap, don't you dare call me, cause I know that I can get you out this shit. I know it's weird that I'm quite honest, but if I don't, then who's gonna know? When mama said, don't you play with fire, you should listen and just move on my way. I've got this feeling if someone's on me. I've got this feeling if someone's on me, yeah. Someone's on me. Ooh, someone's on me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone's Oh, someone's on me, someone's on me. Cause I'm a drug, and you're on me. And I'm a drug that I just cannot resist. Someone's on me, ooh, someone's on me. Once you begin, but there's no ending. Oh boy, it's like divine calling. And you don't know if you're up or falling out at the end of the tunnel. Well, not here. The end is near, I feel it coming. This is between you and I only. When mama said, don't you play with fire, you should listen. It just provide my way. I've got this feeling, someone's on me. I've got this feeling, someone's on me. Someone's on me. Ooh, someone's on me, someone's on me. Yeah, someone's on me. Oh, someone's on me. Cause I'm a drug, and you're on me. And I'm a drug that you just cannot resist. Someone's on me. Someone's on me. Someone's on me. Someone's on me. Yeah. And I'm a drug that you just cannot resist. Someone's on me.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Hello, that was Bridget Blue with Drag. I really like that song. We were talking about the floods. So that's what's in the papers, that's what's in the threads. That's like the only thing that Kenyans are talking about right now. And upon opening the Daily Nation, and literally on page 2, the headline says, it's raining everywhere, no place to hide. Kenyans are told to brace for tougher times. It just sounds like something a politician would say. As in, ila mnaambia, kwani nafikiria ni kutu kunanyesha? You know, the weirdest part is us when we're stranded on the roads and whatever. These people will just take choppers from one place to the next and they'll be fine. And that will be on the Kenyans' dime. So for me, I'm just like, it doesn't matter if it's raining everywhere. That's not the point. The point is we are stranded. What do we do? Now that we know it's raining everywhere, then what do we do? What's the solution? Because being like, just brace yourself, that's not a solution. Houses are flooded. People can't go home. Because me right now, if you told me, oh, it's raining too much, where will you go? Where would I go? Where am I going? I live alone. What if my cat's drowned? By the way, that's not a response to give people who are struggling. That's not a response to give people who are sleeping on their roofs, where it's raining even more. Because now I'm imagining, guys, the number of people who are going to get sick. As in, that's the thing. And it's kids. It's not just like adults sleeping on their roofs. It's kids as well. And the worst part is our government still hasn't said anything. They're not saying anything. Why do these people bad box us like that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's very annoying. It's irritating. And it begs the question, who do they think they represent? Because they never address issues that actual people are facing. They're just globetrotting and telling us about revivals and whatnot. It's like you're so removed from the reality of Kenyans that I'm like, let's not forget, this man stood in front of a bunch of people and said, "Nitawasema kwa Mungu." I'm just like, how far removed do you have to be from reality to make such a statement when people like are not going to listen to you? Because when people are crying out to you and saying, please address these issues, and you're like, y'all are too loud, I'm going to tell God that you're booing me. What's that, surely? Because sometimes I feel like they use this rhetoric because it's easier to sidetrack us away from the issues. See, it's easier for us to talk about how stupid it is for someone to say they're going to report us to God. I'm like, see, he's everywhere. He's seeing. You know, you actually don't have to tell him, by the way. Maybe the one we were taught in schools, we were told he's everywhere. He sees all. He knows all. So he knows we are booing you. Doesn't need a report from you. I'm just saying. But you see, it's easier to focus on that than to focus on the fact that people are being washed away by water. So sometimes I feel like they pull these sideshows on purpose because it's a misdirection, right? So they'll do something. Right now, what is the misdirection? I can tell you for sure what the misdirection is. There was a report that was made yesterday about matatus now not being allowed to carry parcels unless they have a license, or else they're going to be fined 300,000 shillings. You see that, as someone who puts parcels on a super metro for 150 bob, and I know they're going to get to wherever they need to go. For someone who calls, I make calls into CBD and say, yeah, yeke tu kwa matatu itanifikia, patia driver namba yangu. And then now you're telling us, oh, they need licenses to operate as parcel whatevers because mliwa poster. That's not on us. If poster was working, we wouldn't need the matatu guys. But poster isn't working. It's not doing what it needs to do. So I'm like, it's not on us. But now that's the sideshow. Because now we can get angry about that. We can call that decision stupid. We can dissect that and talk about all the wrong things that are in that statement. And that, for a moment, it takes the eye off the fact that people are sleeping on top of roofs. Because, one, all these things go back to corruption and terrible planning, which it's like we have a problem with planning for some random reason. We don't like to plan for things. Because if you think about it, the perfect example, this is an example I'll never, like, every time I see that space, I'm always like, wow, I honestly can't believe this. The Shell station at Kileleshwa, after you come down from Riverside Drive and you're going up as if you're going towards Oloitoktok Road, that Shell was taken down because it was on riparian land. So there's a Shell, there's a Java there. Those were the two things there. That was the only thing that was happening. They were broken down and they said, nope, this stuff is on riverbanks. We don't want it here because it's going to affect floodings when it's raining, all that stuff. And for a while, there was nothing. But now it's back. And not only do we have the Shell and the Java, now there's a tiny mall just there. Like it's like in the breaking down, they were able to access more land to do more things. Now there's like a tiny mall that's like, I think 3 or 4 floors. It has like a clothing store. They have like a mini mart. It's a legit third station in a place where initially we'd been told the other 2 shouldn't even be here. They were like, yeah, jengeni too. So how is it that in a space where you pulled down buildings because you said it was on riparian land, how then is it that now not only are those 2 buildings back, there's a third one, making that situation even worse? Where is the water supposed to go? The thing about water has memory, by the way. Water has memory. Water flows, it knows where it's supposed to flow. And that's the reason why our spaces are flooding, because you can't just redirect it. Itapita nje yenye inajua inafaa kupita. It's not like a joke. So you come, you put your things, it will be like, but hapa ndo tunapitanga. It will just go through there. So I'm like, when we start there, because it's one thing to tell me, Muthoni, don't go rent a house that's been built on riparian land. How would I know? Because if someone approved all the permits and the whatevers and the land and the building was built and whatever, how am I supposed to go like, I am highly suspicious that this is riparian land? How would I know? It's up to the people who are marking all the, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It's up to them to make sure that everything is up to par. When I come, I'm supposed to come in trusting that they did their job. So if they didn't do their jobs, mimi ndo nasafa, alafu you're here telling people, please evacuate. Where are we going? Have you set up a place where people are going? Because it's very easy to tell people, guys, if your house is flooding, just leave and go where? Where are we going? We need to know where we're going. Can we just start there? Please. We're going to listen to Slowly by Ochiko.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Panda in a long time. I get excited when I see you smile. Every time I close my eyes, now na pictures of milele. I know you're scared and it's alright. Expectations kill the vibe. I don't wanna rush. Baby, don't try no way. Let's fall in love, but slowly. Slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly, let's fall in love, but slowly. It's not so easy for me kujua unapenda na kucheza chini. Seeing you walk by me, knowing what we could be. I wanna rush into your arms. I wanna lay right next to you. I wanna be the love of your life. So let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly. Slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly. Slowly. Let's fall in love. Learn to love me slowly. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
See, it's just my opinion. Usiku nitalala. Put my phone on my pillow. Na kifo nishafanya. Ya jirani tuseme. Na ya kwetu ya fichwe. Twende kwake Team Asta. Tunywe chai mchana. Power of life and death is in the town. Hide my identity, hide fichi your heart.
hide my identity, haifichi your heart. Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, 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 Mungu nifunze, oh, Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, twaumizana. Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, Mungu nifunze kunyamaza, kunyamaza.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That is a special dedication to all the politicians. If you have nothing nice to say, it's like a rule. Just don't say anything. Because the worst part is mnaonganga and then we're just like, the stupidity is just spewing out. The audacity of it all. So in case you're wondering, I think there's like different people who are trying to help doing rescue missions. I know for sure the Red Cross is definitely doing something. There's someone who I saw online who was talking about like, a Kenyans for Kenyan pay bill is about to start loading. And someone said, nope, that shouldn't happen because a lot of money was set aside for El Nino that was never used, and so that should be used. And I agree. I don't think Kenyans should, I'm not saying, don't help your neighbor. Please, wapatie nguo, it's raining, it's cold. But even like those, the relocating, that stuff, all that should be done by the government because the money was already set aside. So you can't say the money is in there. The money was already set aside. So it's not, nimesemaje, ini test. This is a proper test. And as Kenyans, also pay attention. Pay attention to what your leaders are saying, which I actually don't like using the word leader. So let's take that back. Pay attention to what your politicians are saying, how they're saying it, and if they are doing anything. Because it's those moments where you see how they've placed us or where tumerankiwa wapi. As Kenyans, niliona tu juzi hapa. You see, like right now we're talking about these floods. 2 days ago, these people were they're already trying to add new allowances and whatever's for CASs, which remember, that office is illegal. It was literally made out of thin air to give people seats who didn't get elected. Let's call it what it is. That's what happened. And now they're being given, so there's already their salos that what? For empty coffers, y'all never miss to pata money for yourselves. Empty coffers, guys, empty coffers. We found nothing. But here are 50 CASs. They're going to have these particular offices. They're going to get paid this much. And now here you are trying to find more money to give to them. Pay attention to what your politicians are doing. Call them out. Hold them accountable. Because if you don't, no one will. In case you're wondering places where like the flash floods are hitting, we have Mukuru, Mathare, Huruma, Ruaraka, Babadogo, Bosnia, Umoja 3, Choka, Njiru, Ruai, Utawala, Githurai, Kahawa, and even I saw someone even in Kahawa West as well. Eastern Bypass, Kino, Kijabe, Limuru, oh my lord, Riru, Graceland, Joska, Kaswito, Kicheko, Mangili, Kenyatta Road, Juja, Kitengela, and Magadi. And also the Athi River riverbanks have burst. So the road is nini. I had like the bridge. There's a bridge that's like completely underwater. So vehicles can't move. Roads and bridges have been affected. So there's a lot of traffic. So just be on the lookout. If you don't have to be moving around, I would suggest just stay put and hope for the best. If your neighbor is in need, help them out. Kuna tu Napata, like, kama if we're living in an apartment building and the lower houses are flooded, be your neighbor's keeper. That's the phrase. Be your brother's keeper. Yeah, be your brother's keeper. Here is Wendy K and Jerai teaming up to give us Niambie.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Space. I need another option to think. Something's changed. You don't even say I love you, ain't the same. What is this feeling that you give to me? Late night calls, tell me who is she? I don't feel like I'm an option no more. Baby, I'ma walk out the door, 'cause I don't know. Tell me who is she? Niambie, ni nani? 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 Niambie, ni nani?
It's another night, another fight. You throwing hands up high, telling me you saw me with some guy. Na hili penzi bila penzi, kama najiseti. It's okay, I get it. You won't stay with me, na mimi sitalia daily. I won't have your babies. Don't you try to chase me. First you have to tell me.
Niambie, ni nani? Niambie, ni nani? Niambie, ni nani? Niambie, ni nani? Niambie, tell me what you tell me now. Niambie, tell me what you tell me now. Niambie, tell me what you tell me now. Niambie, who is she now? Who is she?
That was Jerai and Wendy K with Niambie. Let's get into our segment, Dope Women Doing Dope-ish. Today, I wanted to give a special shout out to the team that is behind the End Femicide movement. I know, like, by now, a lot of people are thinking, hiyo kitu ilishakufa. There's like, it's a whole movement. People are still really doing the work. So this is a special shout out to Noni Maingi and the team. On the 27th of January, we did a walk. It was a match, the End Femicide protest march that happened on the 27th, and it happened cross country. So there were like thousands and thousands and thousands of women in the streets from different counties, in one weekend, where they marched against femicide. And that fight is not over. That march helped a lot because one of the demands for the protest or the march was that the police or whatever, like, it's added in the penal code that it's recognized as a completely different crime away from homicide or murder, because femicide has a completely different meaning. It's not just murder, it's someone taking your life because of the mere fact that you're a woman. It is motivated by the fact that you're a woman, hence femicide. That's what makes it different from homicide and, murder. So I wanted to just give a special shout out to the team. They are still doing the work. They're still delivering petitions. Different people in different counties are still doing marches. There was a vigil that also happened for Dark Valentine's during Valentine's in Feb. I think there was also another activity that happened in March. I'm not sure if there's something that happened in April, but they have something going on every day. And in case you're curious and you'd want to participate, involved, or find out how these things are going, you can just check the End Femicide pages. I know there's one on Twitter, aka X. I also know there's one on Instagram and TikTok. You can reach out to them anytime anything is happening. They are there. They're talking about it. I also know... Actually, yeah, in March, they were in court in support for the ruling of, there's a woman who was a victim, and the guy was being charged and people showed up. And I think that's good, because even like for the families, they see that the lives of these women mattered and there's someone out there fighting for them. So for me, I'm like, it takes a lot of work and energy and effort, and it takes a lot from a person to do this type of work. This type of work comes with a lot of hate. It comes with a lot of negative energy. It comes with a lot of whataboutism, because there's always people who go like, but what about? But they themselves are not doing anything. And it comes with a lot of explaining, because you constantly have to explain to people what you're doing, why you're doing it, what makes it important. So I really, really do appreciate the work that the End Femicide movement is doing. Like I said, you can follow them on social media in case you're curious to see how you can plug in, how you can participate, how you can support the movement as well. So yeah, these two songs are for all the women in those groups.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
This is Hendrik Sam.
Hekima mdomoni mwake na uzuri wake wasambaza kote. Heshima kwake ni msingi, akiipeana apewa kwa wingi. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake, mwendo wake. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
It's your girl STL. You know how we do. We make it sticky like glue. Michelle sing it. Oh. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. STL Michelle. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. Yo, I'm on my way back home. Already packed my bags, can't wait to get home. Clear everything else away. Don't wanna do nothing else but walk my way. I'm going back to Kenya, back to the fine weather, back to grandma. Ain't nothing else I'd rather sit on the porch and drink grandma's porridge. Talk to my elder, listen while I speak knowledge. Next morning be on my way to Nairobi. Do another song, big now they all know me. Yeah, magazines can write all kinds of bullshit, but let me tell you this, SDL will always do this. Lift your hands, swing them around like $1,000,000. Make sure everybody here know what's up. It's been a while now, finally I'm coming home. With the perfect beat, go ahead and shake it off. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. STL Michelle. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. I've been around, seen a few things, learned a couple new things. Been through good and bad things, learned about how things go. When you got a big dream, can't let go. I'm holding with a good grip. I rap to get close to everything I'm chasing. Do all there is, history in the making. Some call it good work, some call it time wasting. Some wish me good luck, but some will love to see me fade. But on my way back home, I don't wanna stress. I just wanna lay down, watch the sunset. Hang around with my cousins, we be chillin', man. Turn the volume up on this, we be cruising, man. STL, baby, knew this time would come. That I would take this back to where I'm from. Throw your fist in the air if you feel this. People here show love, 'cause this the place. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. STL Michelle. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. Unahisi ngoma vidogo. From the shacks to the city, let me see you if you really with it. Unahisi ngoma vidogo. No matter young or grown, get your groove on, go and get with it. Unahisi ngoma vidogo. Saint J, unahisi ngoma vinoma. Unahisi ngoma vidogo. Yo, I give you who I am, applaud to this one, thank you. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. STL Michelle. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. STL Michelle. Tunawakilisha, yeah, we're taking it back, just taking it back. It's your girl, STL. You all rolling. Heshima kwa yudada. Jamani ametoka far.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was STL, aka Stella Mwangi now, and Michelle. Michelle is the one doing the vocals and the hook and the thing. And before that, you were listening to Fee, who did a cover for Manzi wa Maana by Henry Mutuku. So yeah, the vocals, Fee, and everything. I like, it's such a dope song. I love that song. I had forgotten about it, and then she reminded me about it when she started like talking about doing the cover, and I was like, oh wow. And then I haven't forgotten the words. Hey, I have not forgotten the words. Cheers to Sunday school. What? Remember to find us on social media at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. We are on Twitter, also known as X. Mecha nikwambie, you guys will take, like, you will have to do a lot to get me to start calling that platform X. You will have to do them. You'll have to pay me. You'll have to pay me. Sasa, ama unajua, like this is, even when you write X somewhere, you have to put in brackets, formerly known as Twitter. Situite to Twitter. Situated to, like, if we still have to bring the old school name, What is the point, Yawa? Why? What is the what? Shwali. So yeah, mi bado niko. We are not boarding. I'm still there. We are there. You can also use the hashtag She Talks on Power Radio. If you want to check me out, I am Muthoni Gitau on all platforms. And I actually mean I am Muthoni Gitau on all platforms. You can find me. Sometimes I dabble. Sometimes I make jokes on social medias. Sometimes I am an activist. Actually, I feel like my platforms, each platform has a completely different personality. So it's I am a culmination of all those things. If you want to see Muthoni the activist, that one is on Twitter. Uko ndo wanapigana na kila mtu. Mimi, you want us to go to war? Let's go. Muthoni okay, pia kuna the activist pia kidogo anakuanga Instagram once in a while. Not all the time. Hapo unajua watu wa Instagram wanapendanga vibes na aesthetics. So Muthoni the aesthetic queen anakuanga Instagram. Muthoni the cartoon anakuanga TikTok. Hiyo nayo huko tunakuanga tuna dropping 2 bars on bars. And pia huko kwa comment section tunakuanga war mood all the time. Facebook is Muthoni the ghost. I do absolutely nothing there. Watu wanatumanga responses, wanatuma nini, na kujanga kuziona 3 months later, na nikiona ni kwa sababu mtu alinitumia a link that led me to Facebook, and then I'm like, niko na notifications mob, and then I click on the notifications and I'm like, oh yeah, people actually still see my stuff here, and it's because my Instagram is linked to my Facebook. So whenever I post on Instagram, automatically, pap, it's on the other side. But sikwangi uko kurespond. Hiyo ndo shida yangu. Na feelingi ni kama I was too generous with my following. Alafu sa the work of undoing that is too much. Na sina energy. I don't have the energy. So, yeah. A little bit about... Sasa kama unanitafuta, kama umekuwa ukinitumia inbox, Facebook, if you're wondering what is happening, that is what is happening. And I am not sorry about it. I do not apologize for it at all. Now, if all these other ones, if one day I decide I'm done with this one as well, whom am I to say no? So I will see you on the other side of the show when we have an amazing conversation about beauty standards. That's what we'll be talking about today. Today is Wednesday, so of course, you'll be seeing me after our jam. We know which one. We know which one. Because it's Wednesday. Ninaanza kwa marinate mapema. Because nataka by the time the vibes are vibing. On Friday, tulikuwa what is it called? We have infused properly with the vibes. Ndo tukikuja tunakuja guns blazing. Fridays are for guns blazing. I will see you after OnlyFans.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Hey, hello. You look familiar, have I made up with you before? Let's just be serious, kabla uanze tukunipo. Nionyeshe Insta labda nitakukumbuka hivyo. Oh, hey, hello. Sikuamini lakini ni kama nimeona ghost. Miezi mbili ndio maana siwezi pita kino. Na tangu lini ukaanza kuwa na story mob? Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlay, it's like a different kind of weather. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlay, it's like a different kind of weather. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi
but now.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
I'm in control, and my feelings out of hold. Put me on fire, listen close, give me a chance, yeah. I decompose, I've been long time setting up. Put me on fire, and if it shows, put me in my place. Holding on up to see God. Holding on for nothing. Sores in my mouth from bleach tears. You got to see my every piece and my missing piece, my broken pieces. On the floor, was it how it ended up? Being my fault and the reason. Never saw it coming from the wrong box. Hated every part of the game, but your love was keeping me sane. 6 months of fake love strays. Admitted you never tried to care about my feelings. Stories change again and again. I quit when I asked you, acted like it was never the case. Oh, I should've known. Why did you leave so much in store? Energy, so much growth. You didn't believe in us. Oh, 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 oh. Why didn't I leave it alone? Wasted time, traumas unfold. Why didn't I leave it? Oh, sores in my mouth from leeches. You got to see my every piece and my missing piece, my broken pieces. Was it how it ended up? Be my fault and the reason. Never saw it coming from my missing piece, my broken pieces. Was it how my every piece, my all these leeches, Hello, niggas blowing up my phone. Usinihala kama huna phone. Mnani choke, mnani kabako. Hello, nyiribetinde wa yudogi mawadwaro. Werigi jogi gidwa promises of life. Werigi jogi do machindia online. Vijana wa Nairobi msinilete ufala. Ndio manami huishingi hatungepatana. Ukinikata mara moja wezi nitamalaya. And you're telling everybody that this Gucci's on fire. Only fans, when you me fika na fungua only fans. Kauna unanipenda to my fare in advance. Penye imefika, no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah, only fans. Penye imefika, nafungua only fans. Ka unanipenda to my fare in advance. Penye imefika, no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
Hello, ladies blowing up my phone. Akibien, you are so bomb. Wakituma fare twakuja kwako. Oh, yo. Steady grinding all night long. Nasikuji kasi form ya door. Itabidi ukanje ndo tupige show. Ukisikia sauti solo jue ni kubaya. Hii muziki ya Kenya twaipeleka Ulaya. Na temperature inapanda warazi wanakwaya. Tutashinda magrami before tumeretire. Mise only fans walimefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika nafanyia only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah, only fans. Walimefika natambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika mutambua only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
When you hear that song, you know exactly who you're listening to and what show you're listening to. This is Muthoni, Gitau, and you're listening to She Talks on Power Radio. Only Fans by the Only Rosa and Bien. Sasa jugu Kenya imeamua kuflood. In case we need to relocate to other countries where revival has probably worked better and they don't have flooding, OnlyFans is the way to go. Yeah? So like you set up. Kuna mtu aliniambia I should try and sell my hand photos. And I was like, what? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, you have nice fingers. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then like, I know someone who sends feet photos and they sell them for, like, they make like around 30 Gs a month. And I was like, wow, tell me more. And then I was like, yeah, that's so cool. Until they said something. And I was like, yeah, never mind. What they said is, sometimes there's people who will come to their house. And I was like, whose house? Oh yeah, the person who's selling the feet photos. And I was like, if I'm selling photos, why are they coming to my house? If it's photos, it's photos. Why are you coming to my house? There's people who come to the house. And I was like, yeah, that dream died really fast. It died as fast as the thought of, ilishia tu hapo kwa, That's how it died. And I was like, hey, kuna vitu ambavyo, I'm like, even my family, they have to give me notice. And even sometimes that notice is like, tell me a month in advance and I'll probably still cancel. But tell me a month in advance. Alafu niambia a random stranger wants to come to my house to see my hands. Please, I have a ring light. You don't need to be in my house. I have a ring light. I have a proper camera set up. I don't know. I'll have like a fire. Like when we go get our nails done at the salon or the nail bar. And then they have like that kafa thingy, and then you have to place your 2 fingers there, and then they take your photos so that they can post it on Instagram. Same WhatsApp. Why do you need to be in my house? They don't need to be in my house to take the photos for my nails. So, yeah. And then someone sent me a video. My friend sent me a video. It was a long one, but it's about this woman in the States who has, like, men pay her to do things for her. Like, literally, there's a man who paid her to go wash her house. Like how you pay a cleaning lady to come clean your house. So the men pay her and then they come clean her house. And I was just like, listen, I think if I applied myself properly, I could thrive in that kind of business because it's like, as in the video, so there's this one man who's now there to clean her house and she's so nonchalant about it. Like he's literally just trying to get praise from her. And it's like, oh, does this look clean? And she's like, yeah, it's okay. You can go now. And it's like, he's so happy. And I was oh, my feet. She said, at one point, she said, my feet hurt. You should rub them. And he comes and he kneels down and starts rubbing her feet. Listen. OnlyFans ikikata. Mkisikia watu kwa, oh, Mistress Muthoni. Please, it's not my fault. It's this country. By the way, it's not, nataka, nikijituma tu vizuri. That would be it. Today we'll be talking a little about body image and in relation to beauty standards, especially in the Kenyan society and for Kenyan women specifically. Before tuingie huko, this is how our politicians are behaving right now. So nimeambia tunapewa tu ma side shows. This song is for all Kenyan politicians. Enjoy and you're welcome.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa. Ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa.
Lingori anadai wachana na patika. Told me that nitaka supu with the baby girl. So nikajipa na mimba akanipachika. Kisha kaniruka kipetero kiesu. Sa nikipiga namba mteja hapatikan. Tadhani high jump na yeye Olympian. Nikiwa napanga kumuonyesha kwetu. Aliniruka tu kipetero kiesu. Na ishi pale kasana hawa mapacha. 5 years bila the dad na sijamhata. Wakivunja kitu niulize nanya na chapwa. Wanarukana tu kipetero kiesu. Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa.
Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa,
kipetero kiesu. Wakaapa wakishapata mamlaka. Mahitaji wananchi watapata. Waliposhinda ni skendo juu ya sakata. Ruka mwananchi kipetero kiesu. Waliungana eti hiki chama chetu ndio tutatumia kujenga taifa letu. Lakini si asasi watu nyemelea tu. Kisha kurukana kipetero kiesu. Wakirudi huku tena piga debe. Tunawapea mizigo zote wabebe. Watazilipa hata madeni kwa pede. Kwa bado twarukwe kipetero kiesu. Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa.
Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa,
kipetero kiesu. Athletes ujidai wazalendo. Kata kuchange citizenship kugeto. Lakini juu ya hisi asa na magendo. Wanatokwa tu kipetero kiesu. Wasanii wana make ngoma na bidi. Toka manyukama mpaka wenye jina bigi. Ngoma ikiblow unadhani pesa ni mingi. MCSK ni kapetero kwa Yesu. MCs utaka kolabo na picha. Wanabatizwa, wanaoshwa, wanafichwa. Wakiambiwa femi wanalikuzika. Wanakanaga tu kipetero kiyesu. Referee. Wana referee.
ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa.
Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa, ona vile
kipetero kiyesu. Referee. Wana referee.
ona vile tunachezwa, vile tunabebwa.
Referee. Wana referee.
Ona vile tunachezwa,
kipetero kiyesu.
I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble. Red flag on the door.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
So yeah, even though we're not Gilka, in case you, we are on our own. By the way, if there's one thing I have learned in this society we live in this country that we live in, is that tuko peke yetu. We are on our own. Whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter how much effort we try. It doesn't matter what we do. These guys, the moment they finally get the seats, they just forget about us and they're just like, sasa sijui mnataka nifanye. Like, we had a whole president asking us mnataka ni do. A whole freaking president. Imagine someone with access to so much power asking you, what do you want me to do? If that does not spell you're on your own, what does? Maybe I'm just saying. Today we're talking about beauty standards. And in terms of beauty standards, we are focusing on body image particularly. And I wanted to touch on 3 things: size, hair, and skin tone. Those are the things we are going to touch on today. Because when it comes to like beauty standards, there's so many levels, there's so many layers to these things. So when we start on size, there's always this notion that skinny is better, skinny is healthier, skinny is preferred, which is quite interesting. I remember watching a certain movie. I don't know. I think it was like Coming to America. No, it's not Coming to America. There's a movie like back in the day. And I remember in that movie, of course, because it was done by Americans, and according to the global beauty standards, skinny is better. There was an African character, and the African character falls in love with this African American woman who's plus size. And I think that role was played by, gosh, what's her name? I forget. Because I don't think it was Nani. I don't think it was Monique. Okay, I forget who played, because I can't even remember the film. I was a child, but I remember like clocking that. And what I clocked was her. She was like insecure, because she was like, oh, my body size. She's dark skinned. She's a bigger woman. And this guy was like, no, where I come from, for me, that tells me that's a well-kept woman. That's a healthy woman. You have to have some meat on your bones. And so it was like, I think he was supposed to be a prince or something. I don't remember the full story. All I remember saying was the woman that was being pushed on him, and everyone was like, oh, this is the type of woman you should be marrying, the type of woman you should be interested in. It was like a light-skinned a light-skinned woman, very petite. She had curly hair. And then the opposite was she's a dark-skinned woman, bigger in size, and she had kinky hair. And the entire film was the comparison of one is undesirable and the other one is. And when you look at such things and you go like, oh, I'm closer to the person who's considered undesirable than I am to the one who's considered desirable, you go like, oh, so I am not desirable as a person. And now imagine you're watching this, you're like 10, 12, and then you start paying attention to the way people talk to you, the way people talk to your sister, the way people talk to your cousins, and you can notice the differences between you and these people. And then you're like, okay, I get it. I am not one of the girlies. I am not girly enough to be considered desirable. And the worst part, which is a problem in itself, is that the Matrix and the people who would make these comments were older men, which is like very concerning. Looking back, I'm like, they had no business commenting on our bodies to begin with. But like, raising insecurities and everything, it's like, it's a full-time job, I guess. But it's family members, it's your older cousins, your uncles, your neighbor who's like a nini, and then they say, unajua nani is better because wewe I think I remember one time I was considered one of the boys. My problem is I was a tomboy as well. I was a tomboy. Being a firstborn daughter, mimi acha nikwambie, mara ambayo nimepanda juu kwenda kushikilia aerial. Too many times. The number of times I've been on the roof, sweeping the roof. So our house, we were under like a bunch of trees. And there was this particular tree that it has like, the leaves are like it's like a straight line. And when they dry, they're like very tiny and sharp and you can break them. But now what would happen is like whenever it was about to start raining, I had to go and sweep the roof, because if I didn't, because it's like the iron sheets, if you don't sweep the roof, the leaves would get wet, and then that water would cause the roof to rust, which would mean holes in the roof. So whenever it was about to start raining, Muthoni had to climb on top of the tree into the roof and do the thing. So for me, I did a lot of things that are quote unquote considered masculine. And now because of that, I think it also translated into, I don't meet these beauty standards that are set in terms of the way my body was shaped or designed. I'm a very short person. I know people assume I'm tall. By the way, the cameras lie to you. A camera adds 10 pounds. To me, it adds 10 feet. So people meet me and then it's like, oh my God, I didn't know you were so short. Listen, the camera adds 10 feet. So whatever height you're seeing on camera, minus 10 feet, that's my actual height. Okay, not 10 feet. In this case, 10 inches? Those who know how to do calculations, I know you know how to do that. It's like a Whole Foods, almost a Foods. So that's basically how, for me, my introduction to beauty standards started. It was just like people often compared me to my sister and my cousin. And the thing is, we grew up together. So there was my sister and I, we are 4 years apart in terms of age. I'm older than her by 4 years. Then there's a cousin of mine. His name is Jobu. Actually, his name is not Jobu. We call him Jobu. We're 2 years apart. And then there's a cousin of mine who was also my age mate, and she was female. So we grew up together like that, my cousins and I. And also where we used to live, it was like family land. So there was our house, and then there's like two other relatives. We are related to them. Are we family? It's debatable. But we're like related. It's those, my great grandfather was a polygamous man. So it's like, when you start saying, so the way we used to describe it is each house was from one of the wives. That's like the best way to describe it. So each house was, so as we were from the second wife. No, was my shosho the second wife or the first one? I think our shosho was the first wife. And then, because the middle wife was the first one to pass away. And then our shosho passed away. And then the third wife was the last one to pass away. And then at that point, my grandfather was like, I'll go join my wives. That's what happened. Okay, great grandfather. So basically, we were all related. And we were similar in age, but you could see how we were different. Like I had some of they're supposed to be my aunts, but because we're age mates, we used to call each other cousins. So some of them were taller and had like curvier bodies. Some of us were short and are built the way a Kikuyu is built, a proper Kikuyu from the mountain who eats cabbage and waru. Proper. Okay. And when I was younger, I used to have like bigger boobs, which was very weird. And I used to hate it because they were so in proportional to my body. Like the proportions were just off. I keep telling people I used to look like a Ninia capital P. I used to look like a capital P, it was so uncomfortable. So I used to wear like very baggy clothes and such. So at that point, I didn't know it was because of the beauty standards and the whatever, right? It was very awkward as well. Like those conversations, because again, like I said, these conversations were coming from older men, the makangas, the drivers up when you're going to the shop, the shopkeeper. It was always it's like, I don't understand why this is a conversation we are having in the first place. And at that point, you don't have a term for it. You don't have a name for it. The one thing I used to have that people used to envy a lot was my hair. So my hair, one, grows very fast. I have like very nice, thick hair. I didn't think it was nice because anytime I had to get my hair done, the tears. I have like that very tight 4C, they call it 4C now, very tight curls. But I had healthy hair. And it was just too much. Taking care of it was a lot of effort. And I remember like when I was in class 6, when I was about 12, I needed my hair for the first time. I relaxed my hair for the first time at 12. And now my hair used to look very nice and luxurious because, the chemicals. But now here was the problem. It starts growing. And then now you have just like this matted thing at the bottom and then this shiny whatever on top. It's just like, honestly, relaxers didn't make sense for my type of hair, to be honest. Like it just did. That was like too different. It was too different. So I got tired of that and then I ended up shaving my hair. And when I shaved my hair, I remember being told, you look like a boy. Because now I'm wearing my baggy clothes, oversized t-shirts, oversized shorts. When we used to shop for like Christmas clothes, I put that in quotes, but you know those ones for it's like your birthday, your Christmas. They used to buy my cousin and I like matching fits. My cousin was a boy, Jobu. So we had the same style. And my sister would get like the doll dresses and the whatever hair and the beads in the hair and all that. We used to, when they'd buy cars, like toy cars, my cousin and I would dismantle them to see how the motors work. And let me tell you, I started this DIY life a long time ago. I just didn't know I was doing it. So we used to like dismantle them, and like my curiosity was very much inclined towards things that were considered masculine. But I don't know if it was because of the standards that were set where I felt like I wasn't feminine enough to explore feminine things. I'm not sure how I interpreted that as a child, but I know for sure I was always made to feel like it's easier for me to blend in with the boys than to stand out amongst girls. So that was always the thing. So yeah, I will see you. I think like I've offloaded on you. Nimefungua roho. Let's listen to Nikita carrying Kidogo, and then we'll be back.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
How's the thing is with you?
Purple silhouette, so I know you can't see me. How long before I'm wishing like a genie? What's the reasonable reason for your hiding? Till last night I heard you calling on your mama. I cannot even vouch for you, I cannot call on you. So if I don't love you, not taboo. If you don't love me too, so I erase my matching tattoo, cause I put it on for you. If you ever start to really win, if you ever find your queen, I hope she lets you down, 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 down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down. Man, I hope she lets you down, 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 down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down.
Oui, have you never focused on another? Have you never focused, say brother? Have you ever noticed my hangover? You be driving me loco. Reason I believe in you, pronto. You are the one that was supposed to carry me go. But when I'm on the road, baby, that's why I cannot even vouch for you. I cannot call on you. And if I don't love you, not taboo. When you don't love me too. Now I erase my matching tattoo, cause I put it on for you. If you ever start to really win, if you ever find a game, and I hope he lets you down,
down, down, down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down. Man, I hope she lets you down, 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 down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down. Call me how many times I'm losing the fight. I've been ready to die, falling into you. Now ain't getting what take. You couldn't me, showing on a file. I was into you. So now when you're gone and you're noticing, there was a diamond you didn't see. I've been shining my way out of your darkness. That's why I cannot even vouch for you. I cannot call on you. So if I don't love you, not taboo. If you don't love me too, so I erase my matching tattoos, cause I put them on for you. If you ever start to really win, if you ever find your queen, I hope she lets you down, 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 down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down. Man, I hope she lets you down, 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 down. I hope she lets you down, 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 down.
hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. I hope your ego acts out. I hope you will hate me, angalau. Na kama huwezi, tell your friends it's allowed. No need to defend me, nishakuwa ex, please. Let your inner voice speak out. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. If it ends in tears, it was beautiful. I'm sorry it hurts, I'll miss you too. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Unaye ndo mwaki, wito unaye ndo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. All the memories umekusanya, the ones in your head zinazokudanganya ati umechoma bet. Trust me, the best is yet to come. Si uongo, yote vizuri huisha. I know you know, your heart was never mine, ulikuwa umenilon. Kima umivu, trust me, you are not alone. But I am a lost case, so let's focus on you. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. Unaye wendo mwaki, wito unaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Unaye wendo mwaki, wito unaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. I hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. Don't.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
My favorite part of that song is like towards the end. Well, he says it several times, but it's when he says, ukitaka kuni text, please don't. I'm just like, Sema setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is where it's at. But that was Wendo Mwaki by Tuku Kantu, a Kenyan man who's doing the thing. And before that, we're listening to Let You Down by Nikita Kering. It's a song that we love over here. You know us. Hiyo song, kuna sijui inatupendeza. Ni kama tu tunapendanga kudedicate my song to my ex. Hizo mbili. So ya kwanza ni, the first one was if you're trying to dedicate a song to an ex who broke your heart, and you're like, I hope whoever you find, I hope they let you down, right? And then the second one is you're dedicating to an ex who will not let you go, and you're just like, fam, keep it pushing, Nani. Like, it was beautiful when we was together, but keep it pushing. So today, it's like, it's a dose, depending on which type of ex you are dealing with right now. Now you have one of two songs that you can dedicate to them. Yes, you're welcome. By the way, yeah. Today we're talking about beauty standards, and we're talking mostly about body image and Kenyan women. I was sharing a bit about my story and like, I think what was my introduction to, kumbe hizi vitu tuko different sisi wote. You're not just seeing another person. And it's interesting because when you think about it, these are things that are put on us. like you, when you're a child there, you're not playing thinking at oh, Nani looks so different. No, as in tunakwanga tu, we're just playing, we're having a good time until people start making those comments, and then suddenly you're like, Haibo, mbona Nani ndo analetewango sweetie? Mbona Nani atakangi kucheza na mimi? And then you start clocking those things. And then there's when we move further, we become older, certain standards. So there's the usual, it's like, oh, dark skin is bad, light skin is good, curly hair is good. And there's even with, okay, so when it comes to hair, there's something called texturism, where certain textures are preferred over others. So it's like if you have very curly hair like myself, the texture is very kinky. My hair is the one that shrinks. Like if I showed you the length of my hair and then I just let it go, you would think I have no hair. That's the kind of hair I have. So people go like, nah, that's not good hair. Good hair is when it's like straightened, or when it is, if you have, remember like people who used to have this like Somali like hair where it's like really black and then like the curls are just like, they're just wavy and the hair is easy to control. Then us were told, hey, inywele, like I remember whenever I'd go get my blow dry done, and the moment they see it, you are like, because now my problem is my hair is long, but it's also very coily. So the work that goes into straightening that kind of hair, it takes a lot more effort. And I remember they used to say, ule msichana anywele still wire. To a point where I actually started saying that, even when I would tell people, like, unajua minywele yangu inakuanga still wire. And I think yesterday I was having a conversation with my friend, and we were discussing about how, like, even people who do hair here haven't been trained to do hair on our actual type of hair. That's why they had to straighten our hair to braid it. But our hair was built for braiding. As it is, it doesn't need to be straightened, because straightened hair hasn't been built for like the braids that we put in the hair to begin with. So we were having a whole conversation about that. And I was telling her how, like, for me, anytime I have to undo my hair, I like to like just, I douse it with a lot of conditioner and then I just undo it, and my hair just feels really nice when I'm done with it. So now looking back, I'm like, I don't understand why people are complaining about my hair. My hair was really okay. My hair was not the problem. The problem is they didn't know what to do with it, and they weren't trained to work with the hair in its natural state. That's why they had to alter it to work with it, because for them it's like, oh, it's easier to manage, but it's just easier for you to put the comb and whatever. Because me, I actually find it easier to do my hair when my hair is wet. It's easier to work with it when it's still wet. It's also very fragile when it's wet, but it's easier to work with. It's also very fragile when it's dry. Like, you just have to understand how your hair works. So those were the things. And then you also had to be skinny. Being big was not a good thing. I remember this one time. So I've always been a small person, and I never thought I was a big person. And then there was this one time I was unwell to the point that I couldn't eat, ended up losing a bit of weight. And the funny thing is like how everyone kept commenting and saying, oh, you look really good now. I was like, Kwani, how did I look before? Like, have you ever, where it's like you're finding out something for the first time? That was me. I was just like, Kwani, how mulikuwa mnaonanga nini? Because it's clearly I wasn't seeing the same thing, right? So it was very awkward, because a couple of my aunts said it. I think two of my aunts said it. Another person that I know said it. But for me, I've always been small. So I didn't get what the thing was, but I was like, okay. Because the funny thing is, even in terms of weight, I'm still within the realm of the same weight. I have never been, the highest amount of weight I've ever had has been, I think it was 54 kgs. And then at that point, I think I was around 49, and I've been, it's always fluctuating between 49 and 51, always. And that was the one time it was like, I think it was 55, but I guess for them that was too much. I don't know what it was. But for me, I was just like, I was getting this information for the first time. So, and then now when you come online, people, it's like the goalposts keep shifting. So we still have those ones. And then now there's this new introduction to women who have tattoos are not beautiful. Women who have piercings, especially if you have like facial piercings. It's like, there's even someone who I saw, there's this Reddit, by the way, Kenyan Reddit, where they discuss that they have issues with piercings. And even in the ears, like, not just, it doesn't matter where, as long as you have any piercing, they're just like, that's so unattractive. And they have battles over this. And the way I'm thinking, let me tell you, piercings are so, oof. Yeah, ni Wednesday. Uh, piercings are beautiful. Me, like, I feel anytime I see. Okay, so I got my first. Okay, my ears were pierced when I was a child, but then like my facial piercings. I remember the first time I got like eyebrow piercings was back in 2015, and they were so gorgeous. I had to remove them because someone elbowed me in the CBD while they were still healing. So for me, my piercings take a while to heal. And it was the most excruciating pain. Like I stood there. I stopped. Like I think I was standing there for 30 minutes and no one understood what was going on because I was in so much pain. And then when I went home, first I didn't like get rid of them immediately. We tried to treat them. And then I felt like they were getting infected. So it was easier for me to treat the piercings while also trying to heal from the injury of being hit. So I was like, okay, let's just remove the piercings and just heal the thingy. So now I have scars there. And then now I think back in 2021, that's when I got my nose pierced the first time. And then I went back in 2022 and got my second nose piercing. So now I like seeing people talking about surgery piercings. And they made me like, first of all, like a nose piercing on a man. African men with nose piercings. Oof, they look gorgeous. They look stunning. They come with bad behavior, but they look stunning. They look absolutely stunning. So me, I'm like, I think I love those beauty things that we add. And it's because they're such, for me, I think piercings are very African. They might look different now, but if you go back in history and look at things that were considered beautiful on African bodies, we used to literally extend our earlobes that we could carry them as handbags if we wanted to. Like you could wear a whole key handbag on your ears, and that was the standard of beauty. Like the bigger the hoop you could put in your ear, the more gorgeous you are considered. We used to literally draw ourselves. We used to burn our skin to make permanent marks on the skin. That was what beauty was. And then now someone goes like, I don't even like to see someone with pierced ears. Shut up. You're in the wrong continent. You're in the wrong continent. That's what I'll say. Because like when you compare the things that were considered beautiful back in the day versus what's considered beautiful now, our standards of beauty right now, I think, are very Western centric. They're very Eurocentric. It's the straight hair. Even like when you think about like the workplace thingy, and then you're told people should have straightened hair. You can't have like dreadlocks. You can't have, even there's certain places where they don't even want you to have actual braids. It's like your hair is either slicked back into something or you're wearing a weave or a wig. And I don't have issues with wigs or weaves. I'm like, they're very good. We use them to just keep our hair protected. That's why they're called quote unquote protective styles and all that. But we don't have hair that I can wake up and style every day. That is European hair. Those guys can do 59 million styles even in one day. Like someone can go to the bathroom like, I don't feel this one anymore. And in 5 seconds. Mimi, do you know the effort it takes to even do the one style? Sometimes you have to plan these things the night before. Sijui nimelala na deep conditioner. Mara nimelala na eco styler ndo ikuwe imekauka ndo in the morning I just put my ponytail. Like it's a lot of effort. So our hair hasn't been built that way to begin with. But now these standards that were set by someone whose hair doesn't look like mine. They want to decide what makes my hair professional, what makes my hair beautiful, what makes my hair acceptable in the workplace. It's madness. It is. We have to observe where these standards come from to begin with. When you think about right now, as in the standards, the trends are always changing. Now we have like a whole BBL trend. It was funny because the white girls were like, yay, get that hourglass shape by any means necessary. And then they go get it done by a doctor. And then now suddenly it's not in anymore. And then they want it removed. And the lip fillers and stuff. And it's so funny that African features are only acceptable on lighter skin women. They're not as acceptable on the bodies they naturally come in. Which it's like, we need to unpack that as well. Because when you remember, there's a woman who was on display in Europe because she had a big bum. And people would come and she was put there naked for people to come see because it's like, oh my God, what is this? Why does she look like that? And even now there's like caricatures of her. There's statues of her that are in those very museums. But you see, that woman in the society we come from is very normal. There are so many of them, it's not a big deal. But then you take them and put them in a completely different context, and they are an abnormally. They're like, this doesn't make sense because their skin is so dark, their bum is big, their boobs are big. And even like we were having a conversation in studio 2 seconds ago about bras and who decided we need to wear bras because it's the ghetto. Who decided? Because it's not us. Let me tell you, there's no woman who sat somewhere and was like, you know what I think we should do? Bras. That was not a woman. We know how uncomfortable these things are. It was not a woman. Let me tell you, free the ninis. So back to back to our conversation. When you look at the beauty standards that are set and how they are also pushed on us, when you look at TV ads and the people they choose to have in the ads, 90% of the time you're like, oh, this is not very representative of the majority or the average person. I saw this girl on TikTok. She's an African person from the diaspora, and then she's visiting Kenya. And she was so excited that on billboards, she kept seeing people who look like her. As in, she was so excited. And she even had this whole conversation about privileges. Like sometimes there's privileges that you have access to being that we live here that we don't notice because it's the norm. And then you go somewhere else and you're just like, oh, I feel like a fish out of water. And so for her, she felt like she was home. Because it's like you turn around, there's Kate actress on a billboard. You look this other side, there's Adele Onyango. These are people who look like you. Their skin tone, size, the hair that they have, the way their lips look, everything, the skin tone, you're like, I feel represented. So even when people are like casting for ads and stuff, I've noticed sometimes there's always this thing, even TV shows, where you'll see like the female lead who's the love interest has to be a light-skinned woman with a certain type of hair and a certain type of body. And the man who's also which is quite interesting because the man has to be like the tall, dark and handsome. And then like, I think the weirdest realization I ever came to in life was when people were talking, I was like, what do you mean when you say tall, dark and handsome and you're talking about Europeans? And someone said, they mean Ben Affleck. And I was like, what? Because us, when we hear tall, if I say tall, dark and handsome, I know you can picture a specific man, a specific black man who probably goes to the gym, lifts weights, dresses a certain way, cuts his hair a certain way. But genuinely, you picture a black man, right? Because even like tall, dark and handsome, because it's like a darker skin tone, they're tall in height, and you're just like, hey, their eyes look a certain way, their teeth look a certain way. When they say that, they mean Ben Affleck. That was the weirdest realization I ever came to. And I was just like, wow. Even some of these phrases, we need to switch them up kidogo to work for us. I'm just saying. Mimi, I'm not a linguist. But if we can do it, let's you say tall dark with a kamwanya. I don't know, something. Something tall dark with dreadlocks. Or I don't know, something that works within the context that we're in. But for me, when it comes to things about beauty standards, there's one thing I tell people, and the thing I say is like, no one can tell me what's good for me. It's a motto I live by. I'm like, I know what's good for me. Like, I'd rather try something and it fails. And I was like, Amy, I still believed in it. It does not matter. So even when it comes to beauty standards, I think we have to start from within. You have to start by loving yourself. You have to love the body you're in. Because one, it's the only body you have. Even if you're hoping for another one, even if you're going to the gym to build a different body, it's fine. But this is the one you have. So it has to start there. And then when it comes to representation, it has to cut across board. Because I think sometimes when we speak representation, we only look at women, but we don't look at men. I was telling someone how people complained it's a reality show, and people complained that there was no representation. So what they did is they added representation, but with just women. So they had plus size women, they had darker skin women, but they didn't have a guy who just had a dad bod. I'm like, dad bods exist. Like a guy with man boobs, they exist. That's also representation. So when you talk about representation, it needs to cut across board. It has to be both men and women. And don't let beauty standards that were set by people who don't even look like you determine how you feel about yourself. It needs to start with you. Me, Musama, by the way you feel about yourself, you also teach people to feel about you. So me, I'm like, me, by the way, ka kuna mtu anajipenda kwa hii dunia. It is me. It starts with me, najipenda. Me, like, I'll never do something that just compromises me. I'm not the one. I am not. Okay, I work for a living. That is the biggest mistake. But yes, the rest of it, if I can control it, trust you me, I am in charge of that decision. If it's a choice that I get to make for myself, I am making it. If it's something beyond me, I ask myself, okay, in this situation, what's the best cause for Muthoni? And then that's what I do. So when it comes to this beauty standards, don't relax your hair because people have decided it's a trend and it's the new thing. If you don't, me, I know I can't relax my hair ever again. After the shege that it showed me when I was 12, I am not doing it again. So you have to set the standards for yourself. And also, there's no one size fits all. It will never happen. We will never look like each other, no matter how much we try. So why bother? You'll never look like the next person next to you. We're all uniquely built. Embrace that uniqueness and love that uniqueness.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Anticipating, waiting, wondering if we'll make it to our destination. Wondering if our love is wasting away. How we drive into a separation. Can't forget to mention the tension's been lacking. I stay backtracking to the good days. Reverse, you turn, it don't matter to me. Whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. I've been feeling off track, wondering what's wrong with me, 'cause something got lost on the way. No, nothing feels the same, baby. I used to get lost in your fragrance, something like butterflies and ecstasy. Can we take it back, back and long for whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free.
That was Karun teaming up with Zenia Manasseh with Anticipate. Macha nikwambia saa zingine naingianga tu hizo malava girl moods. Msinione hivyo? Niko na hat. So that was our show today. I think I had a good time. I hope you did as well. I will see you back here on Friday for our Vibey Friday sesh as usual. I hope the marination is has done the thing. And on Friday, you'll come back ready for what comes after marination. Kupakua. Yes. My name is Muthoni Gitau. This is Power Radio. You can always catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on She Talks from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the time you get to hang out with me. We talk bad about politicians and other things, and then, talk about some cool stuff that we like as women. And throw shade to all the people who we have interacted with before, people we used to know. I was telling guys, I don't call people exes. I have no exes as far as I'm concerned. You're just somebody that I used to know. That's it. Mimi si claiming you out, by the way. I only claim my cats and my cats alone. Alright? Tuanzia hapo. Sasa kama mkienda huko nje upatane na mtu anze kusema, Muthoni is my ex. Mwambie, she has no exes. Thank you. Msiniharibie sifa huko nje tafadhali. Asante very much. I will see you back here on Friday. Remember to also catch the Power Morning Drive Friday from 8 a.m. And we also have other shows. We have Gift of Gab. That's a hip-hop show that airs every Saturday from 10 a.m. And we have our Akili, who comes in every Monday and Saturday from 1 p.m. So in case you're wondering what happens over here, that's what happens. And also if you are just willing to just have some cool music playing, some poetry, some important messaging, you can always listen in, even when we are not live on air. Thank you very much. Have yourself a lovely, lovely rest of the day. Stay warm, drink your Uji, and send that risky text. Why not?
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Text me by night. All this is mad. It's like I'm reading your mind, but you got me twisted. Thinking about you, I'm wasted. I want all of you when it's selfish. It's like I'm running impatient. Baby, open the door. I'm running crazy. Oh, you're racing in my thoughts. It's getting shady.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.